Let's talk about a bowline knot. The bowline is an ancient and simple knot used to form a fixed loop at the end of a rope. It has the virtues of being both easy to tie and untie. Most notably, it is easy to untie after being subjected to a load. This information is from Wikipedia. This is my photo here I took of a piece of 3/8 inch double braid polyester. I tied a bowline in it. This is what I'm most interested in. Easy to untie after being subjected to a load. Is that true? We live on a farm and I've just never paid much attention to the knots I've used. And I usually tie a square knot, which they also call a reef knot, sometimes a granny knot by accident, to tie most everything I'm trying to pull something to the tractor or whatever. Now, those knots, usually if I'm pulling something heavy, it's very difficult to get them, if not impossible, if some of them loose sometimes once they're tightened down in a rope. Now, a few months ago, I became aware of a knot called a bowline knot. A lot of you probably have already heard of this. Sailors, boating, and other types of people like that will use this a lot. But supposedly, one of the advantages of that knot is it allows you to tie a loop and pull real tight on it without it, and make it so that you can still get it loose when you're done. So I'm going to do an experiment. I've got some 3/8 inch double braided polyester I had left over from some previous experiments and videos. So what I'm going to do is tie a bowline in one side and just my regular old square knot when I hook it up to the tractor on the other and pull it. And this is 4,800 pound breaking strength, so I don't know if I'll be able to break it or not with my tractor, but I'm going to put a lot of stress on it by having them both knots in here in the same stretch of rope. That'll assure it's the same stress on both of them. And then we'll see which one's easier to get apart. So I'm going to get my tractor and we'll hook it up and I'll show you how I'm going to do the knots. Okay, now in the past, when I would tie a loop around a tree or something, I typically tie a square knot. Just something like this. Okay. Now, you can get that the wrong way and you basically made a granny knot. But that's what I would do. Okay. You see that? Now, this bowline knot, I was taught in this one video this guy did, which I thought was real handy. He said, take your one end like this, hold it in your hand, come around, pull what he called a bite up through there, and then just pull it down, and that's the bowline. So we're going to have one on one end, like on the tree, the other on the tractor, and we'll see which one's easier to get loose. Square knot on here, and bowline on there. I couldn't tell exactly what happened until I slowed it down. Looks like the rope actually broke at the bowline. That's why the bowline knot was disintegrated and completely apart. Knots quite often are the weakest part of a rope system where you have knots in it. So we're going to redo this but not stretch it quite as hard. I joined the two halves of the rope back together with just a simple square knot. I retied the bowline knot around in a loop around the tree. Okay, after retying the bowline and joining the two broken halves of the square knot, I decided to pull on it again, but not enough to break it. Stopped just before it was enough stress to break it. I still put a lot of stress on it. This is the bowline. Look at the way that is pulled really tight. Push that over like that. There's no question that comes apart very easily. This is the square knot that I had on the tractor. I could get a loose probably, but take a lot more work. This one that was on the tractor. Now this square knot I joined the two halves is, forget it. It's like they're bonded together. I think there is something to the bowline story. After doing this experiment, there's no question if I have to tie a loop to go around anything worth a tree, anything else, I'm going to pull a heavy load on. I'm definitely going to use the bowline, which you do just like that. Put that through that bite through there. There it is. No question it was easier to get loose than that, what I call square knot on that loop. That's what I've just always done. Never paid attention to knots before. But this could be useful. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like the video and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.